Hey, Assalamu alaikum. Today our class is the actually opening of a new topic of extravesicular route of drug administration. And pharmacokinetic studies. Remember in our previous classes, we have already a concept of IV injections and observe its pharmacokinetic profiles. When we discussed in our previous lectures about the IV injections, we calculate some different parameters and we assume first 5 things. One was drug was following one compartment model, drug was administered by IV injection, and there is only one type of the drug elimination from the urine only. Drug concentration was measured through the plasma, and drug was following the passive diffusion concept. By applying these assumptions, we calculated 3 major parameters, 3 or 4. Among them, one was elimination rate constant K, other was elimination half-life T half. Then we calculated volume of distribution, and ultimately we check their influence of the drug concentration through urine. That was the basic concepts when we started with the IV injections. Today we are moving toward our other concept of oral route. When we are moving towards our oral route, it means we have to consider more parameter as compared to the IV injections, and we have to focus towards the absorption of drug. And for the sake of absorption, we have already taken a huge number of the concept regarding the absorption, its theories, and how the drug absorbs from the GI system towards the systemic circulation, and from the systemic circulation towards the tissues. By getting this type of the concepts of the absorption, we will assume that there are different parameters in case of IV and oral dosage forms. And in case of oral dosage form, we would have to calculate some pharmacokinetic approaches just like the IV injections. In case of IV injections, we will also assume the force conditions in same scenario with the oral absorption, oral tablets cases. Here we will assume that drug is following one compartment model. Here we assume that the drug is for accepting the passive diffusion concept, and drug is only eliminating through the urine. There is no any type of the metabolism, and drug is half-life of the drug, and the other parameters will be calculated. So what are the assumptions first? Then we will move toward this basic concept. First assumption is drug is following one compartment model. Remember, this compartment model have another name is, which is called, there are the two basic approaches, and one is top down approach. This compartmental approach is top down approaches. I have already explained the compartmental models and their techniques, their memory model, quaternary model, physiological based model, pharmacokinetic, pharmacodynamic, PBPK model, and compartmental model is basically top-down approach. It means we can assume that we can see the different words in our different books. Where we use a top-down approaches means we are discussing about the compartmental approaches. Okay, First condition is drug is following the one compartment model. Another is drug is accepting passive diffusion. Those type of diffusion which depends on the concentration gradient. If there is a concentration is higher in one area, and then the movement of the drug can be possible into other area. 3 is no metabolism. Fourth is clearance is only from urine. These are the basic assumptions from which we have to calculate what are the parameters we will learn in this segment is we will learn absorption rate constant. Remember, in our IV injection we just calculated the elimination rate constant, but here we will have to calculate absorption rate constant, elimination rate constant, absorption half-life, and elimination half-life. In the same scenario, we will measure Tmax, maximum time at which maximum concentration is available in the plasma. We will measure Cmax, and also we will calculate T lag. This is a lag time, basically those drugs which are giving us some concept of the absorption, but before the absorption we have some time where drug is not present in the systemic circulation, and we will assume that is lag time. Then we will assume the flip-flop kinetics from the same chapter. Flip-flop kinetics, T lag, Cmax, Tmax, absorption rate constant, elimination rate constant, half-life absorption, half-life elimination. With the same scenario, Vd, here we will calculate Vd over F, and these are the some parameters which we will learn and we will calculate in this chapter. And especially we will apply some general concepts, because we all know there is a maximum number of prescription of the oral dosage form, and when we are discussing with the single dose therapy, it means we are discussing about some antibiotics, and we are discussing about those diseases which may be treated with the single dose. So we will first learn how to calculate the pharmacokinetic profile of those drugs which are giving only a single dose, single tablets. Then we will assume another chapter we will discuss the multiple dose concept. Okay, let's start with the absorption rate constant first, and before this we will have to learn our idea when we are taking drug through the oral route, and drug is passing through our oral cavity towards our GI system. It will get disintegrate first, then dissolve and convert into the solution form. Remember, till drug dosage form will not convert into a solution form, it will not absorb from the GI tract toward the systemic circulation. So actual passage of the drug is movement of the dosage form from the oral cavity towards the stomach and then towards the intestine, and then it will disintegrate, and after getting the disintegration it will dissolve. The process is called dissolution. This step of dissolution we will also get maximum knowledge regarding the dissolution when we will perform some experiments regarding the dissolution. After getting the dissolution, the drug will pass, and there are now two segments. One is the concentration of drug which is present in our GI system, and other is the concentration of drug which is present in our systemic circulation. At the start, there are the maximum amount of drug present in our GI system, in our stomach, intestine, or the whole GI tract, and there are the minimum amount of drug which is present in the systemic circulation. But with the passage of time, drug is moving from the GI tract towards the systemic circulation, and the concentration will be reduced in the GI tract, and concentration will be getting higher in the systemic circulation. This type of the concept where we will assume that the movement of drug from the higher concentration toward the lower concentration will give us the concept of the diffusion concept. Okay, when we want to measure the some concentrations of the drug, there are the two basic concepts. Either we have to calculate the drug remaining in the absorbed or drug remaining to the site of administration. It means as compared to the intravesicular route, the extravesicular route have the advantage of the concentration of drug present in the two areas. One is a GI tract and other is a systemic circulation. But in case of intravenous injection, there were only single area, that was the IV that was a vesicular area where the drug is directly injected to the vesicular area, and the drug is 100% available in the systemic circulation. So if we are discussing with the extravesicular route of the drug administration, then we have two areas where the drug is present. One area is where the drug is given by the orally, and where we can calculate the drug remaining to be absorbed. Drugs remaining to be absorbed. What it means? The drug which is present in the GI tract. The drug which is present in the GI tract. And other is drug present in systemic circulation. This concept is just like the similar concept which we have already understand in the IV injections. But here is another drug remaining in the GI tract. Here if we want to calculate drug remaining in the GI tract, then we can check the rate of change of amount dxa over dt is equal to kaxa. That is at time t. So here dx over dt is the decrease in amount of absorbable drug present in the site of administration per unit time, and its unit is milligram per hour, gram per minute, milligram per minute, and maybe other units. And x naught, xt is the mass of the drug, amount of drug absorbed at the site of administration, for example present in the drug in the GI tract. Okay, when we take the integration of the same equation, just like just when we are getting the information in the in IV injection, we will have a formula. That formula is now x that should be absorbed will be equal to fx naught E minus kat. Okay, this formula is just like the same formula where we have already understand about the Cp is equal to Cp naught E minus kt, and here is F is actually fraction of drug which is absorbed. F is the fraction of drug which is fraction of the percentage of the administered dose that is available to reach the general circulation, and x naught is the administered dose. X naught is the administered dose, and Ka is the absorption rate constant. And then we will have to write, we can use this equation. So if we assume that F value is 1, F value is 1 which is the percentage of drug administered to the dose, and if it is 1 then the equation is just like same. amount of drug that should be absorbed from the GI tract in time t is equal to x naught E minus KAT. Remember, this is like very simple concept. What we have to do? We have to calculate the amount of drug present in stomach. Okay, how can we check? No method. If we want to check, okay, now some amount of drug is present in stomach, but some amount of drug is present in the intestine, some is present in the large and the colon. No, it's not an easy technique, because this technique is just like to be difficult, because in this case we will have to focus each and every organ, especially when we are discussing about the drug remaining to be absorbed. So there should be some complications. However, we cannot measure the amount of the drug remaining to be absorbed. Means if we are giving the dose of the 100 milligram of Nimesulide, okay, it means we have to check how much amount of drug is present in stomach of Nimesulide. Say we assume that 80 milligram is now present in stomach, and can we assume that remaining 60 milligram will be present on intestine, or other amount of present in the colon? Answer is no, because there is no any type of the technique which will give us the idea regarding the exact amount of drug which is present in the particular organ. So we have to, but we can calculate this by using this formula, and this technique is cannot measure the amount of drug remaining to be absorbed directly because practical difficulty, and so we go to other alternate, such as monitoring drug in blood or urine to determine the absorption rate and constant and the absorption characteristics. So another technique is now drug present in the systemic circulation. Then there is another drug present in the urine. There are the three techniques. Drug present in the urine. Now when we move toward the drug present in the systemic circulation, it means there are two ways process. One is some drug is coming into the systemic circulation and some drug is getting excreted from the systemic circulation, just like the IV injection. Remember, in case of IV injection, what was? Only we have the elimination. We have the elimination means only when we give the injection to the patient through the intravenous IV lines, then we get the elimination. But in case of now oral, what will happen? We have some drug absorbed. There are two segments. One is some amount is passing from the GI tract toward the systemic circulation, and some drug is passing from the systemic circulation towards the clearance or their metabolism or some type of excretion, some type of the change in the nature of the drug. We will assume that there is some type of the absorption, okay, another is the excretion or the elimination, or so we will make both of them will be the concept of our oral route, extravesicular route. Now here we have two parameters. The same equation, dx over dt is equal to Kaxa minus Kx. Why I use the word Kaxa? Because there are a concept of the absorption rate constant now. In our simple equation, do you remember in this graph when we use that equation is dx over dt, that is equal to Kx, that was in minus. Yes, we can also write here dx over dt in Kx minus Kx. Why we have written only Kx here in case of IV injection? Because there is only the simple phenomena of the elimination. But in this case, we will have to assume that there is a difference. Difference of what? Difference of the presence of the absorption, and this rate at which the drug is coming towards the systemic circulation and the rate at which the drug is getting excreted from the systemic circulation, we will have a difference, and getting the difference of this, we can calculate the rate of change of amount which is coming or getting out from the systemic circulation. If we see the same concepts in Leon Shargel, they have used the word very simple, d They have used the same equation. This drug concentration in blood, and divided with T. Remember, drug amount in blood divided by the T is equal to rate in minus rate out. Same words. Rate in, absorption rate constant, elimination rate constant, rate in, rate out. When we assume that this rate in means how the drug is coming from the GI tract toward the systemic circulation, and rate out means how the drug is getting out from the systemic circulation. So there is a difference of the rate in and rate out, and we can check the ratio. Remember, to be very clear, when we are on one compartment model, we have the same equation just like this one, but there is a difference. What type of the difference? Difference is, here we use the rate constant, that is K, elimination rate constant, and here we use the rate constant, that is Ka, that was absorption rate constant. Okay, when we are moving towards our another concept of the extravascular route, then we will assume that there are some change of the rate Ka minus Kx. It means we have a absorption rate constant and also the elimination rate constant. And same wording are used in the different books where we have the change in the concentration with respect to time in the blood. There are the two basic ideas. One is rate in and rate out. Now our focus is, we have to calculate this Ka, because in our previous lectures, in our previous classes, we have calculated this K, elimination rate constant, but the question is, how can we calculate the rate constant? Absorption rate constant, Ka. This is the main focus of our today's class. Here we have to find the Ka value. There are the different parameters. We can calculate the Ka by applying the feathering technique. Do you remember? I have already given you an exercise, a lab demonstration, where we calculated the rate constant, that was the absorption rate constant, by applying the feathering technique. And other method is the Wagner-Nelson method. So Wagner-Nelson method we will study in our future classes, where we calculate the rate constant Ka mathematically without applying any type of the graphical presentation. Remember, when we use the word feathering technique, peeling technique, curve fitting technique, stripping technique, these techniques are the single name, and where we can calculate the Ka and the other parameters. So the equation of our concern is now, rate of change of concentration with respect to time in blood will be equal to, that is the multiplication of dose and the rate, and that is the same scenario which we have when we are studying the one compartment model. Remember, these are giving us the concept of the first order reactions. Because in case of first order reaction, we have written this equation, dx over dt is equal to minus kx. Why we write this? Because we have the x value is equal to 1. I have already told all of you, when we are getting the difference between the zero order and the first order, we have written this equation, dx over dt is equal to kx. This equation is now getting some expansion. Why it's getting some expansion? Because we have another phenomena. That phenomena is absorption, and when we have the Ka minus Kx, then we will take the difference. We can calculate this rate. When we calculate this rate, we can make a formula for the sake of concentration of drug. By taking the integration, we can write the equation for the calculation of drug which are present in systemic circulation after getting absorbed through the extravascular route. Equation is x is equal to fx naught Ka over Ka minus K E minus Kt E minus Kat. This is actually our concept, in which we have to check the amount of drug which is present in plasma. Remember, this formula is, and both formulas can be used, but this formula is only for when we want to calculate the amount of drug in GI tract. amount of drug present in stomach, present in intestine, present in colon. But here this formula is amount of drug which is present in systemic circulation, in our blood, in plasma. Now what are the factors? Here are the some important factor. F is actually the fraction of the drug which is absorbed, which is basically bioavailability, fraction of drug. And X naught is the amount of initial dose of the drug. Ka, remember this Ka is absorption rate constant. And now difference of the Ka minus K, difference of the absorption rate constant and elimination rate constant. Now time, that is actually the time, and then elimination rate constant, absorption rate constant, time. We can calculate amount of drug at any time if we have absorption rate constant, elimination rate constant, or the fraction of drug which is getting absorbed from the systemic circulation. So if we assume that this F is 1, means 100% drug is absorbed. Now our formula will be getting some changes. How it will be changed? It will convert into the another way. But first of all, I will move towards the another area where this X will be converted into the Cp. Do you remember how we calculate the Cp from the X? We just divide this X with the Vd. Means when we divide, Cp is equal to X naught over Vd. When we divide the dose of the drug with the volume of distribution, we will get the Cp naught, initial plasma concentration. Same case, Cp is equal to X naught over Vd. So when we want to convert this X into Cp, then we will have to multiply the whole equation or divide the whole equation with the Vd. When we divide this whole equation with Vd, X over Vd, and this will also Vd. So the Cp is equal to, now this equation is the final equation for the plasma concentration amount. Remember, with the use of D or X, we are using the amount of drug, and units are milligram. I have already told in your previous classes. And other is the symbol is the Cp, which is the plasma drug concentration, and its units are milligram per liter, microgram per ml, milligram per deciliter. These are the basically Cp units. Now when we convert this Cp, is this X into the Cp, then we will divide it to the X over Vd, Fx naught Ka over Vd, Ka minus Ka, and E minus Kt minus E minus Kat, and this will give us the plasma concentration. Okay, now we will make some exercise, some calculations regarding if we want to calculate the amount of drug whose dose was 200 milligram, and half. Remember these case absorption rate constant can be calculated by the absorption half-life. This elimination rate constant can be calculated by the elimination half-life. And this is a fraction of drug which is getting absorbed. And X naught is the amount of drug. Vd is constant, which can also be calculated by the clearance. We have already given the large concept of the volume distribution. And so the time where we want to measure the concentration of drug, we can calculate the plasma concentration after giving a single dose tablet to a patient. It will give us some information how much concentration is present in the plasma or the systemic circulation at what time. That the time will be that exact time where we want to measure the amount of the drug. So what we have learned today is, we have learned that we can calculate the amount of drug by giving orally to the patient by the 3 different ways. One is by that amount which is present in the GI tract. That other is the amount which is present in the systemic circulation, and other is the drug present in the urine. When we are moving towards the drug present which are getting to be absorbed, which are remaining in the GI tract, which is present in our GI tract, then we have to use this formula, and we can convert into also XA is equal to the getting absorbed is equal to amount of drug. We will not write here Cp. Remember, why we cannot write the word Cp here? Because Cp is the amount of drug which is present in the plasma, and we are getting the concept of the amount of drug which is present in the GI tract. So its unit should be in milligram, and its unit should be the units of the dose, and XA is equal to X naught E minus Kat. then we can use this equation. But this equation is not applicable very frequently. Reason is we cannot exactly estimate the amount of drug and the rate of drug at the particular time where the drug is present in the GI tract. Okay, what about this? In the second scenario we have an equation. That equation is very marvelous and the achievable equation which we have to know how many parameters we should have to know. Okay, amount of drug, which initial amount of drug, which is dose, volume distribution, which is constant, Ka, absorption rate constant, Ka, and I have already told you Ka can be calculated by the Friedling technique, Ka can be calculated from the half-life, that was the absorption half-life, Ka can be calculated by the Wagner-Nelson method, and K simple can be calculated the elimination half-life by using the graph, and also we can calculate from the slope. These are the basic parameters, and this will give us the Cp value. Okay, what about in urine? When we are discussing the concept of the drug rate in urine, then what will we do? We will just take a rate change of the concentration in urine, that is amount of drug in urine divided by T is, remember we will have the same formula. That formula is fraction of drug which is getting absorbed, Ka x naught over it's not x, it's xu, amount of drug which is coming to the urine, and Ka minus K, E minus Kt minus E minus Kat. This is another way. Well, okay, I can write the word dxu so that it may be very simple. Okay, same equation, but the use of this is there are the two rate constants K, Ka. Now the word is xu. This is different from the x naught. Remember, in case of x naught, the value is dose of the drug. Xu is cumulative amount of drug which is getting collected from the urine. And when we discuss the concept of the measurement of the drug from the urine, we check collect the urine volume, measured exact amount of drug per ml, convert into the amount, then getting the delta xu, and we move toward the, do you remember ARE, amount remaining to be excreted, and then we have calculated the ARE versus time, and then calculate the different parameters K and other. So with the same scenario, we can calculate the rate dxu over dt is equal to Fka x naught. Remember Fx naught Ka, Fka x naught, Fxu Ka over Ka minus K, E minus Kt, E minus Kat. These are the same equations which can be used for the calculations of the drug after giving to the patient by the oral tablets, but applying the concept of the urine. And when will use this concept of the urine, then we will have to collect one extra parameter regarding this, that is amount of drug which are coming to the urine. F is the fraction of drug which is getting absorbed, K is the absorption rate constant, Xu is the amount of drug which is coming into the urine, and our cumulative amount of drug which is present in the urine, and then T is that time where we want to calculate. So this equation is giving us the other basic concept of the calculations of the drug amount in the urine. Okay, there is another way. When we start with this experiment, we assume that this Ka is almost greater than the Ke in the start. When we are just assuming that drug is coming to our GI tract, it is getting disintegrate, dissolving, making solution. Till now, there is no any type of the elimination rate constant. Only drug can be moved from the GI tract toward the systemic circulation. It means only the presence of Ka is maximum and Ke is minimum. Same scenario after some time, this Ka will be greater than Ke, then Ka will be greater than Ke. Okay, the time will come where Ka will be equal to Ke. That time is actually the time of the maximum plasma concentration. We will assume that the amount which are present in the systemic circulation, the rate at which the drug is coming from the systemic GI system to the systemic circulation is equal to now the rate at which the drug is eliminated from the systemic circulation. So, in our initial stage, this equation is good because we have both values Ka and Ke, and this equation will also be applied because we have Ka and Ke, okay. But with the passage of time, when we assume that this Ka is getting slow and Ke is getting fast, why this is happening so? Because we are assuming that drug is accepting the concept of the passive diffusion, and drug is following the concentration gradient. Now at the start maximum concentration is GI tract, so the Ka value is the maximum, and there is negligible or minimum amount of the drug present in the systemic circulation, so Ke will be less. But with the passage of time, when we are feeling that the saturation occurs, so we can assume that Ka is equal to Ka is larger than Ke, is greater than, then K is equal to Ke. Now we can change this equation. We can change this equation by removing this factor E minus Kat. Now this equation will be squeezed, and we can write x naught, x is equal to, Cp is equal to Fx naught over Ka Vd Ka minus Ke minus Kt. Finish. Why we are not getting this, the other one? Because we are assuming that now Ka is getting less, is equal to. So the equation can be changed, equation can be converted into the simple. The first order elimination constant may be determined, and a later time intervals when drug absorption has been completed, then this Ka, when we are assuming that now the complete drug is absorbed and drug is present only in the systemic circulation, then we can check, we can remove this site, and this equation is equal to Fx naught Ka over Vd Ka minus K. It means when we see this type of equation, it means we are having the concept that there is now no more absorption, only elimination. No more absorption, only elimination. Why? Because we are assuming that this type of the drug is, this type of the concentration is the maximum drug or the complete drug absorption has been occurred. Okay, I will write this equation into 3 or 4 ways. I will write there in another way. Okay, start with this. Okay, our first equation, Cp is equal to that is x naught, Fx naught Ka over V into Ka minus K E minus Kt E minus Kat. Remember, this is simple equation. Okay, we can also write this equation in this way. Cp is equal to Fx naught Ka over V into Ka minus K E minus Kt. Remember, we have removed this. Why we removed this? Because at the last stage we assume that no, there is no absorption, because maximum drug is now have been entered into the systemic circulation. We can also write this equation with the ln. Ln Cp is equal to ln Fx naught Ka over V into Ka minus K. Remember this ln and explanation, you know, this is actually, these are the inverse of the explanation. When we write the ln E, that will be cancelled, and we will write here Kt. We will write the only Kt when we write in the form of the ln Cp minus Kt. Okay, we can also write into the log form. When we write in the log Cp, that is equal to log Fx naught Ka over V into Ka minus K minus Kt over 2.303. Remember, I have used the same scenario, same words, same things. Only for in equation 1 that was written blue, I have written the concept of the drug is getting absorbed. In another concepts, I have written in the same scenario. Okay, if you people see this type of equation, it means you have to assume first drug is absorbed completely. And if you see this type of the equation, it means you are giving us, you are getting the information that we have taken the natural log of this equation, the previous one. And if you see this type of the equation, it means you are getting the logarithm of this value. Okay, can we assume the same scenario with the excretion one? Answer is yes. Because we have this x naught is fx naught over kude, and this equation will be, when we take the assume that this complete absorption has been occurred, so we will write dxu over dt. First equation is fx naught fxu ka over ka minus k e minus kt minus kat. Okay, when we assume that this scenario is complete, so we will write dxu over dt is equal to fxu ka over ka minus k e minus kt. Okay, when we apply the natural log, ln dxu over dt is equal to fxu ka over ka minus k minus kt. Remember, with the same scenario. And if we take the log, dxu over dt is equal to fxu ka over ka minus k minus kt over 2.303. Remember, never to be confused. This is a simple concept. Here is, ln, here is log. These are the equations, these are the scenario. Next class, we will start with this equation. We will have some examples, and then we will move towards each and every parameters where we have to calculate first. I hope this will give you a concept of our oral pharmacokinetic behavior and pharmacokinetic behavior of those drugs which are given orally by single dose. Remember, following one compartment model, following passive diffusion technique, following there is no any type of the metabolism, and drug is eliminating through the urine, and we are getting the concentration of drug from the plasma. So these equations will be giving us some information, and next classes we will move towards our fraction of drug, amount of drug, absorption rate constant, VD, half-life, absorption, elimination, and the other concept. Thank you very much for this. If you have any questions, then you may ask me through your comments, and I hope you will understand this concept. Thank you very much.